Hi, welcome back. So the next topic in this playlist is about definitions of the derivative. So there's three definitions that you need to know, or at least be able to identify. So for one, we have f prime of x is equal to f of x plus h minus f of x over h. This is kind of the classic definition of the derivative. And then a second one would be f prime of a equals, this should be the limit as h approaches 0. So next you have the limit as h approaches 0 of f of a plus h minus f of a over h. And then third, we have f prime of a equals limit as x approaches a of f of x minus f of a over x minus a. So each of these conceptually just represents a derivative. In this case, it's a derivative of a function, and in these two cases, they're derivatives at a point. So a being the point, or with a being the point. But really, you just have to be able to identify each of these, and the problems that you're going to see, like on the AP test, for example, are going to look something like this. So all you really need to be able to do is understand or be able to identify each type or each definition of the derivative. So for example, you might be given a problem like this, where it seems like, how would I ever solve this limit? I don't even know where to start. But if you're able to identify that this is the definition of a derivative, then you can also identify that 2 has taken the place of x. So we know x equals 2. And we have this constant 7 and something to the power of 2. And if you understand and you have memorized definitions of the derivative, you would know that this is f of x. So if x is 2, then f of x is equal to 7x to the power of 2. So what this is really asking is, what's the derivative at x equals 2 of this function? So now we just find the derivative, and we know that it's 14x, just based off the power rule. And then we plug in 2, so we get 28. So our final answer would be 28. So it's the same thing for any other definition. You just have to understand where things are, and you have to be able to identify when you're seeing them. Because when you see a definition of the derivative, I'll show one more example. If you saw something like a limit as x approaches 3 of 8x to the power of 3 minus 8 times 3 to the power of 3 all over x minus 3, you would know that this is asking you to find the derivative at x equals 3 of 8x cubed, because based on your knowledge of the definition of the derivative, you know that this right here, this item, is f of x. So now we just take the derivative, and that comes out to 24x squared. Then we plug in 3 for x. So we have, we have 24 times 3 times 3, so times 9. There you go, times 9. And that would be your answer.